Yeah, how y'all doing, y'all? Y'all all know Truckin Chubbzy likes to start off with doing the missing persons. The update has been finally in. Black and brown children will get the Amber Alert depending on the circumstance and importance of the situation. Today we have a young lady by the name of Kinga Jones, missing from Washington, D.C. since July 10th, 2023. She's only 11 years old. Washington, D.C. Female, black, medium complexion, 4'11", under 20 pounds. Black shoulder length hair, brown eyes. It looks like she has dreads, extensive dreads. Kinga Jones was last seen at the 4500 block of Coral Street in Northeast DC at 12 p.m. on July 10th, wearing a black hoodie, black shorts, and tan Nikes. She also has black and blonde shoulder length dreads. Okay. Anyone with information, please contact Metropolitan Police Department at 202-727-9099 or BMFI at 877-97 BAMFI. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for this. I really do. I really do. We'll be starting the show soon, y'all. Until then, CJ made it on the beat. Truckin Chubbzy, baby. Truckin Chubbzy, aka Clarence Hampton III. Y'all already know. We about to start this show and get it going, baby. Let's get it. Clarence Hampton III, aka Truckin Chubbzy. Let's go. What out with it, y'all? What's going on out there, riders? What's going on? Look. Man, so much has been going on this week. So much. Like, I mean, it's been to the point where almost like you're just like, man, look, you take a win with a win, right? I catch up with things a little late, but that's all right though. That's all right because it ain't late, That information is like a fine wine; it get better with time. Or it's like, it just things are better when they're older. You know what I mean? You got to hear what everybody got to say on it, and then you just got your favorite host, just you know what I mean, doing the dang on thing. So let's get to it. Okay, so lately in the news, y'all, it's no secret we got this whole uh Vivek Ramaswamy went on a Breakfast Club, and he had a pretty decent interview. He's on like he has something to do with affirmative action and all this, and the interview was just kind of wild, you know what I mean? And I want to say like he was being interrupted on the show, and I believe that the whole thing with affirmative action is it is holding us back. It is because nowadays it's not the same no more. It is not the same, and I want to pay homage to my my old heads, OGs, anybody that is older than me that has been on this earth and has put up with anything on this earth, you know, to make it better for me and the people that are younger than me. I pay homage to the generation before me because they went through things that so that I didn't have to. I went through things so that the generation under me didn't have to, and so that my children didn't have to. Okay, and we all try to pave the way for each other. So I appreciate the people who protest in the street and got hosed down or whatever it was that happened because it made it a better world for me. I think that a lot of people we should do that more and is acknowledge our OGs, if you will. You know what I mean? We should acknowledge them more and thank them more on the things that they have been through. And but now the time for stuff like that is just holding people back. It just puts a crutch underneath them, if you ask me. It really just puts a crutch underneath you, and you want to depend on that, and you don't want to go out and you don't want to work hard. I work extremely hard, extremely hard. I drive 60 to 70 hours per week. Um, that's just driving. You know what I mean? Um, and you know, on average, it's between about 50 to 70 hours a week, depending on how far I'm traveling that week. You know what I mean? That I'm out. I get home. I'm a football coach. I'm home a couple every other day or so like that. So I'm a football coach. They asked me to help coach my son's little league team. You know, shout out to the Buckeyes. You know, um, I'm a dad at the same time. So on the weekend, sometimes I'm able to record, and I get you know, a half an hour to an hour to drop a show because I do have a family, and I may not see them for 2 days straight. So when I see them on a Friday, I may want to take them to a Chuck E. Cheese or the amusement park, and go down a couple water slides or something. It's summertime, it's nice hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I always want to bring my show because I actually enjoy doing what I'm doing right now. I enjoy this, and then I have to find time for my family also. So there's a lot of work. So I'm constantly working, constantly, and I believe that that's just the way that people should be. And I'm just preparing myself for success. I think I'm setting myself up for success because I'm always at something and moving in a productive manner. You know what I mean? So and I believe that is the key to success is always taking steps in a productive manner. But nonetheless, I think that affirmative action is kind of holding us back with that. And some people that might be unqualified for a job may get it just because they're black or whatever, because we're black, you know. And we got to start looking beyond that. And sometimes, and if we not gonna look beyond that, for the simple fact, you know what I mean, we have to start acknowledging the fact that we can't keep using the same things for an excuse all the time. It's always an excuse. It's always an excuse, you know what I mean? To where why we can't get one thing done or another thing done, like there's always an excuse, you know what I mean? And then we get our neighborhoods are getting shot up by children, you know what I mean? Somebody's child Maybe they're on drugs or whatever the case may be, is shooting up the neighborhood or helping, and we're not stepping up to help in our communities, and we're not holding nobody accountable for that. But we get mad when others come in the communities and they stop things like that. That's just, it don't make sense to me. That don't make no sense to me. It don't. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of reaching the kids who are in impoverished areas. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'll see a few playing football, and I'm sure, and I'll touch their lives that in that manner. You know what I mean? But it is in our households first. It most definitely is in our households first, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it definitely is in our households first, and we got to take care of that as best as we can, because I don't care who you are or what you do, no matter how you move, no matter if you make 100,000 or you make $30,000 a year, to your son or to your daughters, you are their hero. You are everything to them, and your influence means more to them than you would ever imagine or ever know. So taking care of them and making sure that your household is intact and is as follows is just what the world needs to be better, because now your children get to teach other children or their friends on the right things to do, and not and to hold them accountable from when their friends are teasing people. Like, no, we're not going to tease him. You know what I mean? He probably don't, maybe he can't get the shoes we got. You know what I mean? And then that's things. It just all starts at home. It needs to be taught at home, and I'm sure that a lot of people do that. And the first thing we say is, "Oh, white people, they don't do that. They don't do that." They absolutely do. They absolutely teach their children not to tease other kids. They absolutely do that. They almost teach them to be too damn soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, some do. Like, some do. They almost teach them to be so, you know what I mean, so much soft, to where the world is, they got to walk a fine line too. You know what I mean? Like, because they can't say certain things, because I couldn't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine walking around as a Caucasian man that really don't have no problems or what anything with anybody, but I want to live freely, and I want to be able to go everywhere. And they really got to watch how they speak and how they say things now, because the world is so damn sensitive. And the same thing with us too. You know what I'm saying? And it just comes from a lot of different cultures, but like, what, like, I'm saying that to say, like, everything is just at home. It's all at home. Everything is at home. You know what I mean? And Vivek Ramaswamy was on the Breakfast Club speaking on that. They did the woman just didn't let him speak. She just kept going on and on and on and on and on and on about little things, you know what I mean? Really cutting them off and just being really rude with the situation. Like, I thought it was really, really rude what she was doing. Um, and I didn't agree with none of it at all. I really didn't. I really did not agree with none of that at all. And the way that she handled the situation, that and she made a fool of herself, really. I mean, look, man, I've been talking like for 13 minutes, and I know y'all don't really like watching people talk, but look, man, I'm gonna see if I can get this pulled up real quick, and just work with me real quick right here, man. I'm kind of new to this new program that I'm using right now. Um, I know it's awesome, but I'm new to this new program that I've been working with right now. So hopefully it plays, and we can get this popping for y'all. All right, so let's see. See, it's not popping up. Y'all can still hear me though. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to mess around with it and see if I can get it to pop up that way. It just won't pop up. I don't know why. Like, when I'm live and I'm recording, for some reason it won't pop up, and that sucks. Like, it really sucks. So that it won't pop up when it's like that. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to display
actions against people of a different political persuasion that the FBI doesn't like today. I just think it's a formula for corruption when you have unelected bureaucrats that are actually setting policy. But that's a detail compared to my point, which is we need to revive the ideals that the nation was actually founded on and do a better job of aspiring to them.
Now we have Teslin Figaro. I'm sure Teslin has some questions. Tez, you good?
Yes, I do. I've heard a lot of,
Tesla
what you
Figaro.
think and your vision, and I'm a very practical person, and I want to kind of, opposed to talking about your opponents, let's talk about you for a moment, and let's actually talk about your policy. Explain to me your position on this civic duty voting.
Sure. So my position is, I think that every kid who graduates from high school should know the minimums about the country that we require an immigrant to know about the country in order to become a citizen. So there's a test. My mom had to pass it. Every immigrant has to pass it to this country. That asks you some basic questions. What are the three branches of government? What branch of government does the U.S. president lead? Some basic questions about what is the Bill of Rights. It's like a multiple choice exam, or some of them you write in. I think that if we're going to ask immigrants to pass that test, as we should, I think every 18-year-old who graduates from high school should have to pass that as well, because young people, it goes back to that issue of pride. You don't value a country that you don't know something about. You don't value something you inherit. You value something you have a stake in creating, in building, or knowing something about. So how do we think big about this? Well, young people, as I told you, most of them, very few of them vote, as it stands today. Super small numbers, and apparently 60% of them say they would rather give up their right to vote than give up TikTok. Well, I say, all right, let's take that to the next level.
Wow.
How about we do something that raises the voting age from 18 to 25, but you still get to vote at 18 if you just pass that same civics test that an immigrant has to pass in order to vote. And tests aren't for everybody, so be it. Then you at least serve in the military or a first responder role for 6 months. That's my civic duty voting proposal. And the reason is, I'll actually make a prediction. I think youth voting in this country will skyrocket.
Which is pretty smart if you think about it. Like, that's pretty smart. That's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? That's really not a bad thing. The fact that he wants that to happen, like, that's really not a bad thing, y'all. Like, if you think about that, that's really not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? I could get that popped up on my scene too. Let me see if I can get that for y'all. It's not that big of a deal to really get it on there, but I don't think that's a bad thing at all. The fact that he wants people to, at the voting age, to be able to know, you know what I'm saying, just basic civil duties. A lot of people don't know the three branches of government. And I'm talking about hardcore people who carry the American flag, and they got the American flag on their trucks out there. I actually, you know what? It would have been so much more interesting had I recorded this. I know it would have been, right? I know it would have been, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just crazy that a lot of people did not know about the flag. They just didn't, yo. They did not know. And it was crazy to me. And I'm like, man, that's wild. Like, you know, these is hardcore people, everyday people who claim to, you know what I mean? Like, these people sometimes claim to be the most American or whatever you want to call them and stuff like that. And they didn't know. They had no idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? They didn't, yo. And it was kind of crazy that they didn't know. But I'm trying to get this pulled up here so I can get it on the screen. So I can put this on the screen with us real quick. Like I'm saying, I'm gonna try to get this on the screen with us, and you know, I'm gonna put it right here where the logo's at, so y'all can see me at the same time as we're playing this here. I'll put it at the bottom corner, so I'll try not to. We'll just play it like a little smaller, I guess. You know what I mean? So I can still see. Let's see if I can get it in the capture, I guess. Okay. So we'll just play it like that there, okay? And, yeah, we'll get it in there like that, okay? That's the way we'll play it.
Very low level right now, it will skyrocket because you value something you actually have to earn. And I think that this is not a left-wing or right-wing point. We all have duties as citizens, right? You know, we aspire to free market capitalism, right? Materialist advance. And that's the life I've lived as well, by the way. My parents came to this country with not a lot of money. I've lived the American dream. I've made a lot of money by building businesses. That's one side of what it means to be an American. But part of it is we also have duties to this country. And I think the more we wake that up, actually the voting age only became 18 in 1971 in the context of the Vietnam draft. So I just think reviving those ideas is
I
going
think
to be
you're
good for
asking a
us.
lot. So let's prove your point. Nick, our camera guy, do you know the 3 branches of the
Nick
federal
is
government?
over 24, so it don't matter.
But I'm just saying, but nobody knows there are 24. Red, do you know the 3 branches?
Executive.
I know a lot of people
I
that
got a test.
I know a lot of people I question had no idea about the 3 branches of government. And I'm talking about, and you see that American flag a lot when you out and you're a truck driver. Believe that. And I noticed that a lot of people did not know. You know what I mean? They did not know. I mean, what the executive, judicial, and legislative branch, and if they did know those questions, I'm pretty sure that they would mix up which branch of government certain people that are civil servants or public servants work in. They couldn't do it. I'm pretty sure of it, but because it's not easy. It's not easy knowing that. But y'all get the gist of what I'm trying to say here, right? Y'all get the gist of it, right? You know what I mean? It's just, I think that it's important for us to not let this affirmative action thing do, but she really made a mockery of herself, and I'll keep on continuing playing it for y'all, man.
I would like to see if you're willing to pass, because I believe in, just as you believe in civic engagement, I believe in changing the ideas of what political opponents look like, what they should look like, our political candidates. Are you willing to take a test with me quickly? Because I just have a couple of questions for you.
I will, absolutely.
So just
and the way this is opening up, I have a feeling I'm about to fail it, but that's good. Let's do it.
That's right, yeah. Just for clarity, I am an independent. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I think that's important for the premise of the argument, because I know you did a lot of debating at Harvard.
What is an independent?
I also want to make it clear that these are the same
Democrat
questions that I asked liberal
or
Democrat
Republican?
Marianne Williamson. So I want to make sure that we put that out there as well, just to kind of set the foundation.
I'm
for the
open to
test.
being humbled. Let's do this.
Okay, great. Let's go. So you mentioned, the pride of being an American and how important it is to have pride in this country. I'm also a veteran, by the way, for the United States Air Force. So when is it that you voted for the first time?
I voted in 2020.
Okay, so you're how old again?
I'm 37 years old.
So for how many years you sat around and did not get involved at all in any civic engagement? Is that my understanding?
A long time is the answer. And actually, that's what I wrote this book about. I'm not holding myself out as some sort of model. I'm actually offering myself as a self-reflection of my journey as a citizen, to whom this country has given much, right? As an adult, when you have kids, it changes your perspectives. I'm very honest about that. Absolutely.
Okay, no problem. So let's go deeper into the self-reflection. So you sat around for, and sir, I'm being as respectful as I possibly can. Please don't take anything
And you don't
hard
even
way.
have to be. And you don't even have to be. So take it off and let's go.
So you've been sitting around in the country that my ancestors built for about 20 years. Your parents came over as immigrants, brought you over. You made millions according to your resume.
I ain't even gonna keep on and keeping on with this nonsense on my platform. Y'all get the gist of it. If y'all want to watch the whole interview, you can go simply to the Breakfast Club, Vivek Ramaswamy interview, and it'll pop right up for y'all. Like it's just a constant disrespect from this woman, like, and the questions she had and everything she said. But I want to bring some other things to your light to y'all, right? So we on the tube right now, right? And I want to bring some other things to light, because I actually, for the first time, seen this Kiki Palmer thing, right? And I spoke on it, right? And look, and I can't lie, y'all. Like, look, let's watch that. Let's watch it together. Yo, Usher, though. Usher took your girl. By Usher. Like the Boondocks, y'all remember the Boondocks situations? The Usher took your girl, cuz Usher though. The Boondocks dude said, Usher? Nigga, I could see if it was T.I. or something, but Usher? Like, that wasn't that bad, man, at all. Like, first of all, though, your woman shouldn't have been dancing with, she shouldn't have been dancing with another man, period. I don't care what none of y'all got to say, period. Period, point blank. Like, I don't care who y'all think y'all is to tell this man that however he's had to feel. If he felt like he needed to say it publicly, he said it publicly. I don't give a damn. Was it wrong? Was it something that I don't know? To be honest with you, the worst man to ever deal with is an emotional man. I don't know if I would have said something to my woman about that. But first of all, my woman wouldn't have been wearing no damn dress with her ass cheeks out. Like, I mean, from the front, the dress looked, I'm like, okay, I thought it was like a onesie like a gymnastic type onesie where maybe you would have got a little bit of a hint of a butt cheek, but her ass was out of that dress. Like, and I don't know why women